steak sauce?
On your hamburger? My friends, what is hamburger? Chopped ham? Oh, it's chopped steak. And what's better on steak than A1? A1 makes hamburgers taste like steak burgers. This I gotta try. A1's herbs and spices blend with the meat's natural juices, make it juicy and tastier.
It is tastier. Best hamburger I ever had.
Sure, A1 makes every bite count.
A1 makes hamburgers taste like steak burgers.
Game.
Oh, I thought it was like rock, paper, scissors.
No, that was the hand slap game. Yeah. Yep. We're going to have random relish topics to start off with. Then Johnny Winter's going to play rock and roll later on. That's the end of the song. Music trivia. And the power and influence of songs. We've done it before, the power of songs, Lou, and, things like that. So we'll go there. And lots of extra fun stuff like Robert Blake and Andy Griffith and more. Yep.
Cool.
So how about random? You guys want to start with anything random? Lou?
My random is musical purchases, unless somebody wants to go first.
What did you buy? Did you buy a guitar?
No, it was tax. Finally got my tax return, so I always buy a couple little music things. So
what's in your bag?
First of all, I got Paul Weller live at Brayhead on DVD used. It's hard to find. It's from the tour for Illumination album. Then I invested in 3. I'm slowly getting them all of these deluxe Jethro Tull sets. So I got Heavy Horses finally, which is my favorite Tull album.
Wow.
And you get a lot in these sets.
When did Heavy Horses come out?
77 or 78, I believe. It was.
So we're talking Clydesdales.
Yeah.
Yeah. These sets come with 40-page booklets on everything to do with the recording, the tour, the engineer talks about. It's a great, if you can get them for $30, which sometimes you can, it's a great, if you like Jethro Tull, it's good value. I also got War Child, which I really never heard before. It only has one song that I knew, which was
War Child.
War Child.
Oh, in the jungle, Bungle in the jungle.
Oh, yeah, well, that's where he mentions War Child in that song, right?
I heard Bungle in the Jungle the other day.
Yeah,
it's a pretty unique drum sound.
Yeah.
It's very light. It's a very light drum sound for Jethro Tull.
And it's Barrymore Barlow too.
No doubt. He's getting some buzz on Facebook and stuff. There's a Barrymore Barlow thing going on, and Martin Barr getting people are popping up on different other people's websites for some reasons. Someone. These little blurbs you see on Facebook, it could be Buddy Rich playing, but there's something saying Barrymore Barlow, besides being a great rock drummer, he was Yngwie Malmsteen's drummer in Rising Force.
Yeah, he was on that first album.
Yeah. Like the DiGiorno pizza, like the Rising Crust pizza.
Yeah.
Come on up to the Rising.
Yngwie Malmsteen and his fretboard gymnastics.
And didn't he have didn't he have the veal scallopini neck?
Yeah,
Yes.
him and Richie. Yeah. But Yngwie doesn't have a wig, so. The third one is Passion Play, which is a very, very weird album, right up my alley. I mean, there's a dead ballerina on it. It's a concept album. But what I like about these
Mark has a fetish.
Yes, he does. Yeah. He has with that and Jimmy Iovine.
Me, I'm a foot man. What can I say?
Do you like dead ballerinas with bare feet? Okay. So what you get on each of these sets, though, is you get remixes by you-know-who, Steven Wilson. And then there's always 2 DVDs of remixes, the album in 5.1. Sometimes I'll put a concert on there and video. But also this is a little kind of neat thing with them. Before they recorded this, they were in France. They were tax exiles, and they were at that Châtel. There's a studio. Elton John recorded there. It's at Castle.
Chateau. Yeah.
Yeah. They had a horrible experience there. They actually recorded an album's worth of songs, and they got food poisoning, bed bug bites. So they came back to England, scrapped all the songs, did whole new songs. So those sessions are on this, and I've always wanted to hear them. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
So you get a whole nother album on there.
Cool.
But this is the album. This is a great album.
Okay. You say
all right,
so.
that's my purchases.
Yeah.
How do you rate them as a
happening
metal
out
band?
there in the world?
What would you ask, Lou?
How would you rate them as a metal band?
No. Yeah. They were, what's funny? They got a lot of musicians that came to them from Fairport Convention, Steel Ice Band. They're always on the fringes of that, but they were not folk rock. Never were.
No, it was minstrel rock, wasn't it? I mean, isn't it about as English pastoral as it gets in a lot of ways?
But Martin Barr had a heavy guitar sound when he wanted to. So.
I always liked his playing. I like Jethro Tull. They're interesting. It's a unique band.
Yeah,
it's like a lot of the English bands. I may not be fans of some. Queen was unique, but I'm just never been a fan.
Yeah, and they got a lot of press in this country. Like you just mentioned, like I used to read about Steel Ice Band. I never knew who they were.
I thought they were a folk group from New York,
right? But they got press in the American. They got in the American press. They got covered.
Just like the Screaming Cicadas. Who knew them back then?
That's your band.
There were 7 dead ones on my front porch when I got home.
You showed a picture of one the other day, didn't you?
I did, yeah. The plague is almost over.
Weird things.
Anything else happening? Lou, do you have any random things you want to throw in there?
Well, you guys are Clash fans, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, so I stumbled upon thing about their albums and how many albums they had, and I'm always a fan for singles or how many singles the band had. Mm-hmm. I didn't know. Do you know? Can you tell me who co-produced? I think it's Combat Rock.
I had the album. I gave it away to
Glyn Johns.
Glyn Johns, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was surprised at that. I like the Clash, but I never had a Clash. I haven't had it. That's probably uncool of me to say. I've never had a Clash album. Heard plenty of songs, but that's why Spotify's for.
You don't have to. You can find it without owning it. No,
well, that's the guys like Mark that buy. They support artists.
Yeah, Mark loves to support millionaires. Yeah.
When I was in Zion, Combat Rock was the cool album to have. We would bring in our vinyl and just walk around with it.
And the weird thing was, I knew punks that to them that was Led Zeppelin, Combat Rock.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Lou.
Well, speaking of the Clash, I have a friend who has a birthday today, and it's also the birthday of Topper Hedden of the Clash.
Oh,
yeah. He's a drummer. Actually, I admire him. He's a very good drummer.
Yeah,
that's why the Clash
is. Yeah.
The Clash, they're like Mark, you said this. They're a rock and roll band. They're not a punk band. I mean, and they had some punkish attitudes and some music, but I mean, overall, they were just too talented. They wrote good broad in scope. Yeah. Well, yeah, but they also had scope. Even in their solo stuff.
Reggae. They did all styles of music. They covered. Yeah.
Yep.
Real punks don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised.
Wouldn't have done that with the Clash. They could never do that.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
They don't tune their guitars.
They probably could not.
They could not.
Yeah.
They didn't have the talent. Yeah.
The Clash. I said the Clash had talent.
Yes.
So what is Topper Hedden's real first name?
I remember reading it. Nigel.
You're close. It begins with an N.
Neil.
It's the same first name as a very famous and classic, long gone rock and roll piano player.
Norman.
I play with the Stones.
Nicky.
Oh, Ian.
Yes. Nicky Hedden.
Nicky Hopkins? Oh, yeah. Nicky Hedden. Yeah, okay.
Nicky Hopkins.
How many charting singles did the Clash have in the U.S.?
In the U.S., I don't think there were too many.
Not too many?
Yeah.
No.
I would think.
And there's a contentious one because I looked it up and I see it. There's a contention, but there's 3 definite.
I think Chain and Vein probably made it into the charts.
It made the top 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 23.
Really?
Yep.
London Calling.
Billboard. What's up?
London Calling.
London Calling. Apparently, it said it did not chart in the U.S.
Did not chart in the U.S. Huh?
It was the first single in England, but in the U.S. they released I think it was Train in Vain instead, and that's what broke them. That was from London Calling, the breakthrough album.
How many are we looking for? How many?
Well, so there's one more. There's
one more song by them that made the charts in the U.S.
The U.S. charts. Yeah. And I was surprised. I'm going to tell you a hint. For the Clash, and given their record of when they did have hit singles, this one's kind of low. I was surprised. I thought it would have been higher. Is it an older song or one of their later songs? Is it? It's one of their later ones.
One of the later ones. It was
Rock the Casbah.
No, well, Rock the Casbah. Well, actually, we'd have mentioned
that.
That's
a good guess. I would have figured that would have made the charts too.
Okay, it was top 10 in the U.S. Billboard. What was it? What was their placement?
I don't know, 8.
You're right. It's 8. Okay, so what was their other U.S. I'll say U.S. single?
Let's see. You give me. You have multiple.
It's very garagey.
I Fought the Law.
No. It's not a cover. It's an original. It's a Mick Jones song.
Oh, I know what it is. Supermarket. Lost in the Supermarket.
I didn't see that one as charting. That's interesting.
Really? Okay, cool.
But that might be a contentious point. I think we should look it up.
Mick Jones,
no, this one's very garagey. It's garage rock.
Is it
it's
called
English
Garage
rock.
Land? We're a garage band, and we live in Garage Land. That one? No.
No.
Oh yeah.
Should I stay or should I go?
I forgot about that one.
It was number 45. It was a 45 on the Billboard. I thought it was the top 10.
Interesting.
That was a great song.
Yeah. So Lost in the Supermarket. I'm going to take a minute to look that up.
Well, Should I Stay was a big rock song, so it was on PLJ here in New York, but that doesn't always transfer to the
on rock radio.
Nationally.
That song. Yeah.
Well, that's you could have localized radio now. But that was before Clear Channel and all the corporations.
Yeah.
We're corporate sponsored.
Are we by whom?
Yeah, the Merkin Foundation.
Metro
By
Wines
Teacups.
Incorporated?
Hype Right Incorporated. It's not too far from Adman to Madman. Silver, the Wonder
Mark,
Dog.
have you got anything else random you want to chuck in there?
Maybe I wasn't done, Perry.
All right. Well, all right.
No, wait. I think I was
moving,
actually.
That's all.
I think it wasn't slowing down. The ad libs are what makes the show, man. It's all back and forth. That's
so
all I have.
The Clash was.
But I'm going to find out Lost in the Supermarket.
Oh, okay.
You mean you want to see where it landed?
Yeah. I'm doing it now.
I couldn't see that being very high on the charts.
I remember hearing it everywhere.
Well, but there's all different charts. There's like college radio charts. There's rock charts. There's the Billboard Hot 100 is a chart unto itself.
Yeah,
you know.
I think one of the Clash songs made like a dance single release or something like that.
Yeah, but like the other week, I had a trivia question that was, what was the
London Calling made the U.S. dance charts. That's what it was.
Right. Interesting. And the other week, you got Jump from Van Halen. Van Halen had some number one hits on the rock charts, but that wasn't the Hot 100 chart, the single chart.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, Billboard Hot 100 is it's broader.
That's the mainstream. Yeah, most people gauge by that. Yeah.
Right. And Rick Astley.
Yes.
Different.
Wow. Anything else, Mark?
I'm good. I was very boring this week. I played nurse to my sick wife, so I didn't get to really experience anything.
What about Ricky Derringer?
Oh yeah, we lost him. I don't know that much about him, but everyone knows that one song he wrote. Actually, I think he also co-wrote Free Ride too.
No, he didn't.
Didn't?
No,
okay.
that was the
He played
bass
guitar,
player.
right?
Dan Hartman wrote that, right?
That's right.
He wrote Hang on Sloopy.
No, he didn't.
He didn't write that?
No. Burt Burns wrote that. Burt Burns and
wow.
Even the guy, remember the Partridge Family name, Wes Farrell?
Yeah.
That guy wrote, those two guys wrote Hang on Sloopy. Rick Derringer wrote Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, as far as I know.
Right, but I saw some misinformation there because it said he wrote and sang in one thing. But that's the internet.
Hang on Sloopy?
Well,
they did write
McCoys,
that. Don't trust the AI.
The McCoys, yeah.
The McCoys, and he was, so.
Burt Burns wrote it, right, with Wes Farrell?
Burt Burns. I bet you that's not his real name.
I like that name.
Just saying. It sounds like a game show host.
Perry's right. Wes Farrell and Burt Burns.
Yeah.
Burt Burns.
Wes Farrell was the Partridge Family musical director or something.
Can you hear the intro? Deedly, 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 boom, boom, boom. Come on now.
Maybe, yep.
But you know what reason a lot of people link him with him was he was in the McCoys, his first band, and they recorded that song. That's why a lot of people think he wrote it.
He did that twice, too. The McCoys was like 65. Then 10 years later in 75, he did like a promo film, and that was with the Hang On Sloopy Girl dancing. You've ever seen that?
No.
No.
Probably.
You can find it up on YouTube. It's Hang On Sloopy, but it's Rick Derringer 10 years after the McCoys.
Okay. 75 then.
He re-recorded it, and that's what the Hang On, the Sloopy dancer, they call her. Yeah. And you will know why.
I just see that I see that he played on 2 Steely Dan songs. He played on Showbiz Kids, on Countdown to Ecstasy, and Chain Lightning on Katie Lied.
See, I would never hear those songs, and I never will.
No. Yeah. I want to hear them now. Hal Blaine played on one Steely Dan song.
Blaine Alert.
Was
Blaine
not
Alert.
a good experience, he said.
Okay. Well, How about Johnny Winter?
Now with Rick Derringer, that's also where Neil Giraldo from Pat Benatar's band and her husband got his start. Well, not a start, but he played with him probably before the Pat Benatar band.
Really? So he got into the biz through Rick Derringer, sort of?
I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So, and that was Derringer's real last name.
I don't know, man.
It was Dillinger, and he just changed it to Derringer.
Born Richard Dean Zeringer.
Close.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep. And for showbiz, right?
Yeah.
I thought it would be cool to have a last name that begins with Z, like Warren Zevon. That's very unusual.
That's cool, yeah. Isn't that a great name, Warren Zevon? Yeah.
It sounds like
That's
he's from
his
outer
real
space.
name, though.
What's not? It's
Warren
not.
Zevon's real name. They're Russian. That's the guy. They have a Russian name.
Zivanovsky
Mark's
or something.
probably looking up Warren Zevon's real name.
When I'm not looking at you, I'm
Warren
looking
Zevon.
up.
I don't know.
Warren William Zevon. That's what it
Really?
says.
Yeah, but there's a thing where like it was anglicized or Americanized.
His parents could have anglicized the family name.
Yeah,
My family italicized it.
Name,
yeah. My name's really Collins, but my family wanted to sound Italian.
I'm sure they did.
Guess what? My
It
name's
served you
really
well,
Smith.
hasn't it?
Yeah, it depends.
Yep. You want to listen to some Johnny Winter?
Oh yeah.
Johnny Winter's. Like I said, we did some yacht rock, some soft rock, the last show. So we'll do some
Bus Gags is yacht rock, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So we'll do some Johnny Winter. How about
You're yacht rock, Perry.
Hey, 2 drummers, man.
You got a Firebird?
I think so. It's either Thunderbird or Firebird. I always get those 2 mixed up, dude.
The thing's upside down.
Yeah, it might be a Firebird then. 2 drummers, man. And a cowbell player.
That's full percussion. He's really white.
Yeah, but this is typical arena rock type rock, man. You can hear this stuff in the garden as an opening act, right?
Using a thumb pick, I say.
Yeah. He's one of those thumb pick blues type guitarists. Yeah.
Just like you.
Me?
You're a thumb picker.
Every now and again I do, but I only 1 or 2 songs.
But we're not Sitzpinklers. No, we are not Sitzpinklers. No. Do you know what the Sitzpinkler is?
No.
Who's the guy that was in Django Unchained, the bounty hunter? He says that's a man who pees sitting down. You're un Sitzpinkler.
He's a good actor. His name was like Christian something or other.
Great actor.
Yeah.
2-time Oscar winner, both with Tarantino movies.
Yeah, well, cool.
Best supporting.
Yep. Well, we'll show before the show goes up. We'll have the disclaimer in the beginning. But Johnny Winter's double drums, really?
Was there 2 drummers there?
There's 2 drummers, bro.
Get it. Who's shaking her booty?
I don't know who she is, but she's playing cowbell.
I don't see any drummers. There you go.
There we go.
One guy's got 2 kick drums.
Look at that.
She's getting it.
Oh, by the way, this is 1973.
70 what?
3.
Okay.
73. He's open tunes. You know that.
And that's Michael McKean's girlfriend from Spinal Tap on Tambourine.
Maybe it is.
Boogie Woogie, man.
Yeah, that's
like
what
Midnight
it is.
Special.
It's 2 drummers doing a boogie beat.
Yeah, that's from 1973 on the Midnight Special, I believe.
Nice.
I love that show. That show was formative.
I love that car.
I love that car.
And also Rock Concert.
Oh, speaking of which, I love that car in the little intro of the Steven Seagal movie.
Yeah.
My teacher. Who was the guy that he was doing a patty cake with?
Yeah, that guy was in a lot of. He's a good character actor.
He was Frenchy. He was Frenchy in Goodfellas. He was the Midnight Day Man. He's the commandant.
Yeah, and he was also
Dumb and Dumber.
He was also the gas man in Dumb and Dumber. Yeah.
Was he the guy that got crushed in Casino? His head crushed in the vice?
No, that's not him.
No. Okay. Yeah, I know. I've seen him in a ton of movies. Though.
No. He was in Goodfellas. He played.
He was
guy
he was
who
Frenchy.
was the commandant at the Yeah,
I'm a midnight day man.
At the airport security. You're looking at him. I'm commandant.
You're watching with Tommy D.
And then Dumb and Dumber, because they left the note for the
that was
gas
a great
man.
scene.
How does he know I have gas?
Now, when they're playing Layla, how did he die? Was he in the garbage truck?
He gets dumped in the back of the garbage truck.
Yeah.
Well, that's when you see his uniform says Frenchie.
Yeah, Jimmy Conway was knocking everybody off. Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's see what Johnny Winters is up to now. Johnny Winter.
He's plural.
It's like, this could be Bonnie Raitt, for all I know. You know?
Kurt Russell on drums.
He's clapping at 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, but everybody gets into it in their own way. You know, nobody air drummed back then. No air drum.
No, I saw someone doing it.
You did? Yeah.
I thought so.
I thought he was clapping.
Neil Peart invented air drumming.
Oh boy. But that's the great thing about whatever key this thing is in, you know, bump, bump, bump. I mean, we've all written songs with that progression in it, right?
Oh. You know, it's funny. That kind of reminds me of like just starting to play when you were first starting to play music with my brothers and like, you know, trying to find like rock things to do, you know, like the boogie beat, boom, ba boom, ba. I mean, it's
right.
I mean, a lot of rock beats are kind of standard. There's like these standard drum beats you can do, but that's the boogie beat. Is boogie woogie.
Yeah. Yep.
And it gets to me, it gets kind of tedious after an hour.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, even like with this, like, how much slide can I hear in that vein? You know what I mean? Like, there's one more segment. I'm like, I'm done. You know? Like,
I suggest you do a blues jam sometime.
I had a 3-year period that I was a big Winter fan. I listened to everything he put out. And then just one day I went, okay, I had enough, you know?
One time Lou and I were in the store, and the guy was talking to Lou. He goes, I'm a blues drummer. And I said, that must be boring. You know?
Oh, man.
I think I really did say that to the guy, didn't I?
You did. But and it is, you know. I mean, after a while,
some of them like
I will go to the ride cymbal now for another half hour while someone.
Right.
But you look at Chris Whipper-Layton, man, that guy loves it, you know?
I mean, jamming, it's the interesting thing. Like we said, I knock the Grateful Dead sometimes, but they could do it. They did it. You know, they could do it.
They could do what?
That improv jamming, you know, like there was like some
the
blues jam. After a while, it's a solo after solo after solo.
Yeah.
So I mean, anyway, and if you have a short attention span, it's a nightmare. It's hell. It's purgatory.
Did you say something?
See, I don't,
Did you
so
say
I love
something?
it.
You really?
I like my songs 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Damn it.
Me too.
Pop. Yeah, pop. Yeah. Yep.
I don't like that. I get bored with that.
Yeah, that's why you write 5-minute epics. I know.
4 pop songs in a row, I'm going for something that's 18 minutes. I can listen to 4 pop songs. And then I cut it.
Well, let's close out the Johnny Winters segment. How about that?
Yeah.
Come winter and life is but a whisper.
No.
Cool outfits, man. I like the red outfit. That's cool.
Yeah,
Red's good. Stagey.
Like, yeah.
Big bell bottoms.
Yeah, Lou, I don't know if that's a Firebird or a Thunderbird. I don't know.
Right. Give the guy a sandwich. Give that kid a sandwich.
Woo! Johnny Winter, rock and roll.
Oh, rock and blues, man.
Yeah.
His voice made him what he was.
Yeah, in fact, we had a listener who commented a couple of weeks ago that we had on, who was the dude we had from Canada playing the Telecaster?
Frank Marino.
No, it wasn't Frank. Lou, we just had a couple of shows ago.
Guitar player?
Yeah, guitar player from Canada. Wasn't Frank Marino, it was the other dude.
Neil Young.
No. Guys.
Boss Skaggs. I don't know. You tell me. I'm Canadian guitar players for 500, please.
Oh, Dukes of September, that guitar player now.
That was Rory or
Rory Gallagher? No.
Pat Travers.
Pat Travers.
Pat Travers. He's Canadian.
Pat Travers. It was Pat Travers, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, and I forgot the connection I was going to make.
I'm sorry.
It's a boot.
I forgot the connection we were going to make. But anyway, yeah. Johnny Winter, yeah. Rock and Roll, that song was called.
that midnight special show, that was something, you could see like a blues band. You could see all these other things, Maria Moldauer singing, the Midnight at the Oasis or something, but
her hit, yeah.
Great show.
I hated that song, by the way. That was one song I could not stand hearing on the radio. Midnight at the Oasis. The melody just pissed me off for some reason.
Also, that is so mellow 1974 or 73. It's just, that's that part of that sound of the early 70s I don't like. I just don't.
I know what you mean.
Screw it.
Exactly what you mean.
I like rock and roll music.
Like, like Johnny Winter playing rock and roll.
I like Italo rock.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You're working on a segment for it? You're working on a segment of Italo rock? Really?
No, we've done that already. I think we did it.
That was one of my favorite segments because I went and all week I was deep diving Italo rock.
So how long have we been doing this show now? It's going on 4 years, or has it been longer?
No.
It started. I've been living here in Nashville for 3 years. I was in Barnesville when we started.
So it's probably
it's going to be 4 years this November.
Really?
Wow.
4 years this November.
4?
I think 4.
All right.
4 years.
Yeah, I just moved in here. It was like the place was new and
me too. And had no internet. They had to construct internet in this.
Yeah, no internet.
Hurricane ravaged land.
How about music trivia? Anybody feel like doing some music trivia?
You got some, or you want some from us?
I want you to get some.
I did Clash stuff. That's all I had. I had Clash random. That's all I had.
Oh, that was actually Clash trivia. I enjoyed that too.
Well, it was just kind of some random things I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, let's do some more.
They released 31 singles in their entire career, though.
Wow, and they never made money.
Really?
No.
Topperhead didn't make a ton of cash off
CBS
Rock the
Records.
Casbah.
It was CBS, man. Like they just
Who produced their second album?
They had to deliver 10 albums in 10 years.
Wow.
That's almost an
Is that why Sandinista was 3 records?
Yeah.
They thought that it would get them be 3 towards the end of the contract, but I don't think it worked out that way.
That and the other one,
London
Calling, 2 albums,
double album, yeah.
I found that Topperhead did most of the instruments on Rock the Casbah.
He wrote the song on piano.
Well, he wrote the music for it. Apparently, the lyrics were rubbish because it was about how much he missed his girlfriend.
Really?
So Joe Strummer had lyrics, and he's like, no.
Yeah, well, I like the Strummer lyrics, though. The King Cole.
Of course. It wouldn't sound like good as a love song. I guess the lyrics were described as soppy.
But think about, like
soppy.
Drop your bombs between the minarets. I mean,
right.
That stuff's still going on.
Yes,
I know something. Lou would ask the question. He said, "Who was the producer of their second album?" And I did not know that.
Yeah, it was the guy from Blue Oyster Cult, Sandy Pearlman.
He's not from Blue. Buck Dharma didn't produce the record. Either did Albert Bouchard or Joe Bouchard or Alan Lanier or Eric Bloom.
Sandy Pearlman produced the
Sandinista
shitty Clash album called "Give 'Em Enough Rope."
Second.
There's only one good song on there, Tommy Gunn.
Yeah.
Well, now that you said
think that was
shitty,
a UK. That was a UK hit, probably. I mean,
Tommy Gunn. Anyway, what you saying, Mark?
I'm going to listen to it because when I hear it say it wasn't a good album, I want to hear it now. I want to hear just listen to it.
Listen to the production value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it sounds like Before the Kiss, a Red Cap, or if it sounds like Baby Ice Dog, Mark, and then what's the second?
What are you talking, Baby Ice Dog? Ice Station Zebra. What is this? A movie?
I'm rattling off song titles from BOC's obscure second record. It's been a while. Come on, it's been a long time.
Beautiful as a Foot.
Oh boy,
that's from the first record, Mark.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, how about some music trivia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this is Rolling Stones related, apparently. So let's see.
Oh wow.
Let's see.
Okay.
What is the first song Mick Taylor ever recorded with the Rolling Stones?
Ooh.
I'm bad with their albums.
I'm going to venture it.
Can't you hear me knocking?
I'm going to say, Give Me Shelter. It's on that album, Let It Bleed, right?
Painted Black.
Live With Me. By the way, piano player Leon Russell.
Was Let It Bleed, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
On that album, Brian Jones has one credit on one song. He plays maracas on one song.
Wow.
Yeah, he was.
You're out of
in
the
a
band
zombie-like state at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here's another.
He played the maracas.
What is the first Rolling Stone song released with Mick Taylor on guitar? He recorded Let's Live Together, right? Live With Me. But
Brown Sugar.
They saved it till Let It Bleed. What is the first song released with Mick Taylor on guitar? A release single with Mick Taylor on guitar.
Bitch.
Honky Tonk Woman. I don't know their records.
I think Lou's got it, bro.
Really? Oh, wow.
Kiss my rosy red ass, Mark.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the
Who's playing the cowbell?
Charlie.
Jimmy Miller.
Yeah, Live With Me. Mick Taylor's first recording with the Rolling Stones was Live With Me. Although it was the first song he recorded with the band, it was not the first to be released. That honor went to Honky Tonk Woman. Yep. Yeah.
That's right. It was on that album. I forgot.
Lou's got that one.
All right.
Who gets the point?
Check out the big
circle gets the square.
All right, here's one more Rolling Stones one. Here we go. This is a tough one. What is the first Rolling Stones album consisting of all original songs? Because they did a lot of covers on their records, right?
66, 65, 66. I don't know the album title.
First Rolling Stones album consisting of all original songs.
I'm going to go with Sticky Fingers, and I think I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with Sticky Fingers.
I'm going with Meet the Rolling Beatles.
All right, give me a year. Give me a year.
I'm thinking 66, 67, probably. I don't know their album titles. Like,
Mark, what do you think?
I'm under the impression that they did a cover on all their albums up until they did Sticky Fingers, so I'm going to go with Sticky Fingers.
I think Lou's pretty much got this one.
My sweet lady
Aftermath, about 66, I think. Yeah,
66.
Lou got it.
Yep.
I don't like this song.
But they had this is hits all original.
This song is so misogynistic.
No cover.
I like this song.
I like it too. Oh wow,
excellent song.
So that
might be my favorite Rolling Stones song.
That record is a transitional record for the Rolling Stones. All original songs, and it was loaded with hits too.
And that was 66.
66, I think so. I'm not a big enough Stones fan, but about mid 60s. Yeah, 66, I think.
Okay. Now, Paint It Black, I've heard people say, Charlie Watts is a shaky. There's some great drumming on that record. It's all great drumming.
Yeah, it's a great.
It's like his version of Wipeout in a lot of ways.
To me, that's like listening to Ringo on Rain or something like that. That's odd for Charlie to be doing that. Yep.
I mean, just the whole he's going full out that whole song. I think it's wild. It's great.
Hell yeah.
Charlie Watts.
Yep. Banging like a Charlie Watts. Yep.
Yeah. Right.
Here's another one. What was Donovan's first release single in the USA?
Atlantis.
Donovan's first release single in the USA.
Wasn't there?
Yeah,
No,
I just know the hits.
I'll go with Hurdy Gurdy Man.
Where Your Love Like Heaven.
Well,
Probably wrong.
He was. Don't forget, he did folk too. So
yeah, he did well. Okay.
He's doing Dylan. He's doing Dylan. His Dylan routine.
Wow.
Yeah. That's his first release in America.
He's still making music.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's great. Like, I always liked Donovan, but I never got into Donovan.
Same with me. I didn't mind hearing him on the radio. Yeah.
But every time I don't mind hearing anything that he does. Even
right.
like new. I've heard some fairly recent stuff a couple of years ago. I'm like, yeah, the guy still got it, man.
Mm-hmm. He's original. He does.
And he was at the Beatles at Rishikesh.
And this is what I suspect happened in the in Hurdy Gurdy Man. I think there were two drummers, Lou. I think you're right. I think there was when it goes just the backbeat, and then the fills. When the fills came in, that was John Bonham going.
It sounds like
you know
him.
what I mean?
But,
I think there's two drummers there.
Yeah.
Somebody's playing the backbeat.
It might have been a produced thing. Yeah.
And then John Bonham came in to fill to transition from verse to chorus or whatever it is. Yep.
It has those dazed and confused drum fills.
Yes. Yep. All right. Here's one. Here's one. Let's see. What is the only Jeff Beck single that he sang on?
Oh my God.
Wow.
Infatuation. No, that's Rod Stewart. He played on that, right?
Yeah, I think I remember reading that somewhere. Jeff Beck had a
Beck's
single.
Bolero,
And
he went
sang
dun,
on
dun,
it.
dun, dun, dun,
That's
dun,
an
dun, dun.
instrumental, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm stumped.
You're
I don't
kidding.
know.
I'm surprised. You
And I love Beck.
What? I never heard. I didn't know
Jeff
this.
Beck unfortunately sang the lead.
Jeff Beck's single, Hi Ho Silver Lining.
He was never a good
Wow.
singer.
Do we know when that was released? That sounded very much like every
that's
British pop
67,
song of the day.
67, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Mickey Most.
Mickey Most.
Making the most with the
He
most.
produced Ermin's Ermits.
In Jamaica.
Ermit.
In Kingston. Ermits.
Ermin's. E-E-Ow-U-O-E-O-E-O-E.
It's not all Britain water. Yeah. Airway to Staven.
There's one more question
Here
I
we
have.
Steven.
One more question. In the 1960s and the 1970s, Van Morrison had 2 top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Can you name those 2 hits? In the 60s and 70s. I guess one was in the 60s and one was in the 70s. They were top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, which is a big deal. Can you name
Does that
those 2
include
hits?
the them? Does that include the them or just solo?
No, this
solo?
is Van Morrison. Yeah.
Solo. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh.
In the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
there was one in each decade.
One in each decade, but they were top 10 hits. Yeah.
Is it Van Morrison solo or with them?
Van Morrison solo. These are Van Morrison records.
Brown Eyed Girl. Brown Eyed Girl in the
Okay.
60s. In the 70s, I'm going to say it's either Wild Nights or Wavelength.
Wait, I was going to say Wavelength.
Okay.
Ooh, mama.
What about the 60s, Mark? You're going with Lou?
I'm going to agree with Lou on that because that's like his first album, right?
Well, you got one of them anyway.
No.
Okay. Bang Records.
Yeah, Burt Burns. Here's the second one.
Damn it. Really? Okay.
That was your first choice, Lou.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I said Wild Nights. Same era.
Yeah, that was in the 70s. That was like 73 or 2 or something, right?
It wasn't Wavelength with Garth Hudson on
Brown Eyed
keyboards.
Girl was, later 60s?
65?
Yeah. No, I thought later than that. 65.
No,
He was with
I think
them.
Brown Eyed Girl. I think that's
Wasn't
pretty
he?
early.
Wasn't he
You know,
in
that's
them,
Hugh. That's Hugh
65?
McCracken on guitar that played on Double Fantasy.
I've heard that name many times.
Release the McCracken.
1967.
67 was
67,
Brown
okay.
Eyed Girl.
That's earlier than I thought. Recorded at A&R New York City.
Wow.
One
Yeah,
of
and
these
of
a
course,
lot of studio. I wonder who the drummer
A&R,
was.
you know who the A&R were, right?
Artist and repertoire.
Phil Ramone.
He owned that.
Oh.
The producer Phil Ramone,
Yeah.
producer of Frank Sinatra and Billy Joel.
Yeah, we had this. We covered this a while back. 914 Studios. Those guys kind of backed 914 Studios.
Oh,
also.
right.
Lou, the drummer on
914
that,
Studios, where Bruce recorded his first 2 albums.
Mm-hmm.
and Janice Ian recorded some of her hit singles too. Yeah. The drummer on that song is Gary Chester. Do you know who he is?
Oh yeah,
We've
Oh,
talked.
yeah.
Lou has mentioned him.
We
We've talked about him in the past. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably in relation to that song, but
Yep.
Gary Chester, he's got a pretty illustrious career. He always popped up in Modern Drummer magazine doing a column with musical notation that you cannot read.
Keep talking.
read
Go in
music.
the fridge.
All right. Perry's going to get himself an apple juice. Crisp, refreshing apple juice.
One of the backing singers on the album was Sissy Houston.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And is that Hugh? Is there a Chet McCracken too? I think it's Hugh McCracken played that guitar figure.
Yeah,
Which
he's
I
on
know.
that.
Okay, some guitar players I know said that's a really weird part to play correctly.
Huh. You know, some stuff you think is simple.
Yeah.
Especially like John Fogerty, some of his stuff. Oh, I can play that. Sounds nothing like the way they play it.
Right. I do a bastardized version of 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, the drum intro. it's Steve Gadd for dummies.
And I still can't play the intro to Spirit of the Radio. I've tried my whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
To do what?
Chet McCracken. I found him. Chet McCracken was a drummer with the Doobie Brothers.
That's right.
Yeah.
All the Doobie Brother, all the original Doobie Brother drummers. Like, there's 3 of them there that all died.
More dead drummers, huh?
Yeah, I know. Except for Hal Blaine, he lives forever.
So it's Spinal Brothers or Doobie Tap.
Doobie, Doobie Watt, everybody.
Well,
Doobie Watt, everybody.
We've talked about like the power of songs in the past, right?
Yeah.
We've covered the power of Louis. You had a segment on power of
songs. That's
songs.
a Huey Lewis song, isn't it?
the
power of songs.
Celine Dion song too.
Yeah, you mean like the staying power, the lasting power.
The power. This segment's called the power and influence of songs.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, like with Little Richard, I can't stand the Beatles version of Long Tall Sally. I can't listen to it. It's because Paul McCartney's really just doing Little Richard,
He did it better than anybody.
But the Kinks did a great version, too.
Gonna tell Aunt Mary about Uncle John. He claimed he has a music, but he having a lot of fun. Oh,
There's the original.
yeah, baby. Gonna tell Aunt
I love the Kinks version.
Uncle John. He says he got the blues, but he has a lot of fun. Oh, baby. Yeah.
That version is more fun to me than the Beatles version.
I think it's rather lame.
Really?
I think it doesn't make any impression. It did not impress me at all. Make any impression.
Elvis also.
There's no. I mean, it's a different version, but there's literally no version. You couldn't even tell me that was the Kinks.
Very early single.
That's my thought. That's my thought. Just me.
Elvis recorded it, and so did a group called from Denmark called the Danish Sharks. They also did a version of that too. Elvis did a good version of it too.
Gonna tell Aunt Mary about Uncle John. He claimed he got the music, but he having lots of fun. Oh, baby. Hey, baby. Gonna tell Aunt Mary about Uncle John. He said
That's the Danish Sharks.
That's a weird. That's a skippy version.
That's Leo
Who
Canty
was that?
and the Danish Sharks. Is that your...
It's like headbanging music.
that was a really interesting drum beat the guy was playing.
Yeah. They were going 100 miles an hour. Yeah.
Is there a way to hear that again?
Yeah, sure.
And again?
Gonna tell Aunt Mary, but he has a blue, but he has a long fun. Oh, baby.
Almost sounds like the Dave Clark 5 kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a pretty wild drum
I
beat,
think they're
man.
from Copenhagen.
I like that. I like that one. That was better than the King's version, that's for sure.
Copenhagen.
Yep. Now, the influence of songs. Now, John Lee Hooker, right?
Yeah.
He wrote the song, and it's been covered, and it influenced so many people. And by the way, on the John Lee Hooker one, the drums are like thigh slaps. They're playing the drums on their legs.
Like Buddy Holly.
You can
Wouldn't it be
Well, my mother allowed me
boogie chillin'.
cool title? VJ.
to stay out all night long.
Now like
Very cool.
now that was 1948, by the way. And maybe little less than 10 years later, Slim Harpo did it. But when Slim Harpo did it, now you think more of ZZ Top when you hear the Slim Harpo version.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is kind of cool for ZZ Top to do that.
Yeah. But they were influenced because they had their own original song with, LaGrange, I think it was called, right?
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
Perry, there's a song on Exile on Main Street that kind
And
of
Van
starts
Halen.
like that. Remember Exile on Main Street? There's a song that comes in.
Well, yeah. And but also Slim Harpo, also, he's one of these influential guys, Slim Harpo. In other words, he had Shake Your Hips, and the Stones did like Hip Shaking Man, or you know what I mean? There were some things, but,
Okay.
but the
Yeah,
Stones credited him. They absolutely credited him. For instance, the Slim Harpo. I love Slim Harpo. Have his greatest hits.
Don't be afraid. Just listen to me.
That's the Stones, yeah.
These drummers like the rims of those tom-toms.
Yeah.
I think Van Halen did that on Hot for Teacher, didn't they?
Yeah, but they got it from ZZ Top.
ZZ Top, yeah.
So it went from John Lee Hooker to Slim Harpo to
That's great.
Isn't that great?
That's beautiful. I mean, that's it's
the influence and the power of influence of songs. Yeah.
Right. And I think given current times, John Lee Hooker now would be called John Lee Sex Worker.
I don't have a rim shot, dude. You got to get your kit ready, man, and just do it yourself.
It's off the cuff, man.
If I say I have 3 words. 3 words.
Shut the fuck up, right?
Mac the Knife. If I say Mac the Knife to you, Mac the Knife.
Yeah.
What do you think of?
I think Bobby Darin, of course. That's the first one.
Bobby Darin, right?
Or what's his name? Nick Cave.
You wouldn't think of Harold Paulson from Germany in 1928, though, would you?
Here we go.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Mach the Knife.
Yeah. This song has been influenced and carried on, and that was 1928, by the way.
It's a very serious melody.
28.
It's not pretty.
That was Germany.
That was in Germany. Yeah. But 1950 something, Louis Armstrong. Right? Oh, this is all before Bobby Darin. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sunday morning, do.
Now, I wonder if he was the first one to do that type of arrangement, because it changed as soon as it came to America.
With a kind of more of a jazz swing to it.
And a major melody versus totally minor, which the German version was very serious.
No. Who wrote Mac the Knife? Is it Bertolt Brecht or something like that? Or
German, yeah. It was a European, yep.
Yeah. So that first version was probably sung in some interesting cabarets in pre-Hitler Germany.
Kind of song that it was, yeah. It was, Yep.
I love I love the vinyl crackles on that, almost as loud as the music in somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, sorry guys, I had a couple of random things that I forgot to do.
What was it? Kurt Ryle.
I don't know who that is.
He was in the group Weeds.
There's
a songwriter named not Kurt Weill, but there's another guy. I think he wrote with Bertolt Brecht. I think there was a collaboration or something. But Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. I want those guys, and was that them? I'm channeling, man. I'm channeling.
Well, I'm telling you, if we're talking about the power of music, there's only one song.
Huey Lewis.
That didn't work out too good.
The hell was that?
You got the power.
What are you doing? I don't understand.
He's playing
you
that.
talking about the power. The
playing
power.
that rap music.
Oh no, I didn't mean power like that. I didn't mean power like that. Yeah.
I'm just screwing with you.
Well, I have this theory about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So many of the Swifties
conspiracy.
So many of the Swifties are like 12-year-old girls. You know what I mean?
And older.
And they go up to their 50s.
But, yeah, she runs the gamut, but there's a section that are, and I think it's like, because she looks like a doll. In other words, what is the Taylor doll? What outfit is the Taylor doll going to wear next time? This is why kids love Taylor Swift.
That goes through the years. There's always been a performer that appeals to really young kids. They look like either action figures or dolls.
Yeah. I mean, it's looks unreal,
That's the way most of that music is now. They Photoshop you, AI you in the pictures, and yeah.
Oh, yeah. John Fogerty. Speaking of Taylor Swift, do you know she bought back remember she had that deal where she bought back, now she owns everything. She bought back those original masters that she didn't own, and she did Taylor's versions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it cost her like $350 million. But now she owns everything. Every single thing she owns.
And do you know who she gave credit for that to? Her fans that saw her on the last tour gave her the money to make that purchase,
If you could afford $350 million, you're doing damn well.
Yeah. Fogerty did his thing recently. I heard him on the radio where he wanted to call the record that he's just did, he wanted to call it Taylor's Versions, but the company wouldn't let him do it. John Fogerty.
Well, that was my next story, dude.
Right.
He John Fogerty.
He didn't want to call it. He wanted to call it Taylor's version.
Well, no. He was inspired by Taylor's version.
I heard him on the radio. He said he goes, I wanted to call it that.
Well, but it says John's version on there. So he's recording because he finally got ownership of his own songs now.
And he's 80 years old.
And in other words, those guys and the other guys in the band aren't going to get a dime out of this because they're his songs. These are not Creedence versions, so they're not entitled to any money.
No.
You know, this is a little FU with the elbow jab. You know what I mean? But
But can I ask you a question?
Well, he didn't want to do it.
After 60 years, what the fuck, man?
He didn't want to do it. He wanted to have nothing to do with it. His wife talking into it. What, Mark?
When he wasn't getting a penny from Zantz, were the other guys getting money for the songs or no? They never got any money. Like Saul Zantz didn't feed them money or anything.
He got money, but they sold their stakes.
Okay.
I read it in his book where like.
Just like the guys in the band did, they sold their stakes.
Right. It was
their own accord.
We all four of us have to agree to do it. Like with us, all four of us have to agree to review this record, and then we'll do it. You know what I mean? With them, but the other three guys sold their voting shares back to Saul Zantz. So now Saul Zantz had all the power over John Fogerty at that point. Yeah. So this is an FU. You know what I mean? To Saul Zantz, this is pissing on his grave, you know. And
I would say Saul Zantz has been dead for a while.
Yeah. But all the other, except for his brother Tom, all the other ones are. So
2 good stories in a row.
Saul Zantz was a good movie
producer.
Good on you,
John Fogerty, man. You know, but it was interesting because he said he got lazy because he always did these songs live. So. He forgot how to sing them because he always took the lazy way out live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his son, who was in the band with him, told him, like, Dad, you're not singing it right. In other words, they wanted to make it as close to the original Creedence recording as they can. Now that you're 80, obviously, it's going to be a little bit different.
Well, I say he can't be singing in the original keys. I mean, I've heard live stuff of him the last several years. So these are different versions. They're John's versions.
Well, you know, the original John Fogerty key was a whole step down anyway. With Creedence, you know,
was it? Okay.
He wrote a whole step down. Yeah, that's what was. That's what people can't figure out how to play. Like some of these songs. Like one more thing, Lou. You'll probably get this book, but there's a new book on Richard Manuel coming out from Stephen Lewis. Wow. It's called My Life and Music from the Hawks and Bob Dylan to the Band. $35. It's coming out June, I think.
It's a biography.
Written by Stephen Lewis, who's written a few other books in the past. Yep.
I still have to get Demons and Drums, the Jim Gordon biography.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're backlogged, dude. Yeah.
I am backlogged.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
I just got Ginger Baker's. I got to read that. It's in my queue.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Autobiography or biography?
Yeah. He wrote it.
it.
I gotta say, I'm reading Eric Clapton's right now, and it's boring. He should have had someone write it for. Yeah, it's look, he's just telling his life, but it's not. It's like it is what it is. He made the Cream segment of his life boring. I'm reading it. I'm like, they were an incredible band, but he just.
Who said that? The drummer?
No. I'm reading Eric Clapton's autobiography.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I can't wait because I'm reading his, and then I'm going to read Ginger Baker's.
His autobiography.
Yeah. Holy cow! I mean, everything. Yeah, and then I do like
my best friend's wife.
The one thing I like is when he's sitting with Steve Winwood, and he's like, he wanted to start a serious band. And he says, and then Ginger knocked on the door.
Yes. I heard one of those Blind Faith songs, and I'd love to know what the dynamic of that band was. Because there was the one album, but you have Ginger Baker in your band, and Steve Winwood is more of a not quite so aggressive, I'd say, musically like that.
Eric pretty much intones in the book that he gave up before they even went in the studio. He's kind of like he didn't take charge on anything. Then when they toured, it caused a rift because he was hanging out with Delaney and Bonnie and friends. So
because he always wanted to be he wanted to be in the band, so they wanted to be. He's trying to get into that Americana sort of.
Steve Winwood got really pissed. He's like, "Dude, you're in our band and you're hanging out with them."
So. I think Ginger liked playing with Clapton. Actually,
Yeah,
that had a lot to do with it. I think his whole beef and cream obviously was Jack Bruce, but I think he really on his reflections on Cream, Ginger's reflections on Cream later. That was his thing. He loved it. He loved the music. I think he loved playing with Clapton.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He did. When he talks about him in that documentary, he's crying talking about Eric.
Yep.
He loved the guy.
Fuck Jack Bruce. I heard Jack Bruce, when Jack Bruce knew he was almost gone, he called Ginger and said, "Fuck you."
Really?
Or something.
A little animosity there, huh?
Took it to the grave, apparently.
Boy,
that's kind of cool in a way.
That's like a deathbed confession,
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm going, but I never really liked you. Go honest,
Oh, by the way, we have a new subscriber
named
KJ's, or how would you pronounce that? Like KJ's, right? Or KJ's, or I don't know. But
Kajazi.
He or she should tell us.
Well,
he should tell us.
Hey, yeah, email us with the pronunciation, but
thanks, bro. Thank you.
Thanks, KJ's.
Thanks, sis. I don't know. It could be I saw you guy. We don't know. So
thanks for the comment. They said it was a good hang.
Yeah, it was a good hang, and we learned.
We're good company.
Yeah.
We're not bad company. We're good company.
We're good company. Bad company, and I can't deny.
We're messy. We spill our wine and beer.
When is this damn ceremony for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? The R&R HOF. When is this thing?
Oh, boy.
Do they do it at the same time every year?
I don't know.
Is it during the summer? Because, we know who's getting in.
Right. But like it's streamed usually, and then they'll put out a television version edited, and so I'd like to see it. I'd like to see Bad Company play, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be Saturday, November 8th at the Peacock Theater in
Los
Angeles. That's
all the way in the fall, man. That's many, many months away. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder who'll play bass with Bad Company. Will it be Will Lee?
Geddy Lee.
Geddy Lee.
He needs work.
Tommy Stinson.
He's got to have a drink. I should talk.
Mark's drinking tea. You're drinking tea tonight.
It depends on who the band is. That's the background.
Aside from when I had that virus like a couple of years ago, this is the second time I've done the show with water and tea. Hey.
Wow.
You're not supporting the Australian wine industry tonight.
No, I don't want a headache. I had a headache.
Is that Japanese?
I hate that Bobby Darin fucking Vegas shit, man. You know what I mean?
The shark bites.
Yeah, right.
With his big teeth.
Oh boy,
Bobby Darin. He was a good singer, though. He was a good talent, but he was crossed that line between he was almost like Dion DeMuch. They had their little 50 stuff, and then he went kind of folky.
And he went folk. You're right. Yeah.
But I think DeMuch did it.
He took off the tux. Bobby Darin took off the tux and then started playing. I mean, he even did the version of he covered a version that Dion DeMucci did. Anybody
I think he did
seen my old friend John?
I think he did Eva Destruction too, or something like
we're on the E.
Tell me, Jack.
I don't like that song.
I don't. I think everything Barry McGuire sings sounded like this.
No, but I mean, even the Dion song. Is anybody here? It's like, I don't know, man. That doesn't do much for me, Or like, honey, it's
kind of
how big it's grown, but what the heck, I'm not sentimental.
Now he created a new genre there.
Well, what is that?
Italo folk rock.
Italo folk rock. That's a subgenre.
Okay. Oh, fine. Yeah.
Fucking A.
Because can you tell me where he's gone?
Wait, Mariah Carey with the.
You have to use her hand in order to hit high notes.
The hand inflections. Yeah.
Whoa! I thought I was going to throw up at my gig this morning.
Why?
I didn't eat much dinner last night. I played a cigar bar last night. That was interesting. It was a little rough. I'm like, I don't think I can do that again. But I didn't eat breakfast, and I was playing the gig. I had coffee, and halfway through, I'm like, I think I'm going to throw up. I had nowhere to go.
But I didn't. Throw up on your drums? You should have one of those and Tom's on top with no skin, just the skin on the
Upside
bottom
down.
to catch the vomit.
Well, there's a railing to like a little pit thing. Actually, I could turn my head and just blew chunks over there.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you a question. You guys talk about like lame covers of songs. Do you know who does this version of this song?
That's Rick Moranis.
You know that? Yes.
To you.
Tom Monroe.
The innocence will pull me through.
That's great. Last thing we want to do is get flagged on a Tom Moranis cover of a police song.
One of my favorite things he did was Gordon Lightfoot sings every song ever written.
Yeah.
I probably sent to you guys.
That was played on the show, I think. I think we did, or something.
In fact, I had a thing, young Bob Dylan sings anything.
Yes.
Like, close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. You must remember that I'll always be true.
Love will keep us together. Think of me, babe, whenever some sweet talking gal comes along singing a song.
Young Bob Dylan sings anything.
Living,
76
loving.
trombones.
She's just a woman.
Woman.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm not going to say anything.
The best is Black Dog.
Living, loving, she's just a woman.
I think we just lost our subscriber.
Let's. I was saying we were watching the Warriors, and I said to Lou, I said, "What if Gilbert Gottfried?" I said, "Like, I want to be with you." Like,
Warriors, come out and play.
So I kind of did this.
What does it take to change the essence of a man?
Good one.
So I went on my phone, right? And I said, I typed in Gilbert Gottfried voice changer, and they have them.
Oh, that's great.
So you type in what you wanted to say. You know?
How did you sync it with that?
What does it take to change the essence of a man?
I think it's better that way.
Yeah. It's better acting.
Has
that's
more
for
passion.
Sure.
Has more passion to it.
But like even the Warriors, why can't I stay with you?
Oh man, that was weird.
Yeah. I have to defend the great state
That was
of New
terrible.
Jersey.
That was some terrible acting, though. By the way.
We are all from the great state of New Jersey, by the way.
Fucking
yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
coffee.
It's guys like this douchebag this douche.
Oh.
Give New Jersey a bad name.
I think I know who it is.
And I'll tell you why.
Bruce.
What's up, buddy?
Jeff, me and you have a lot in common, buddy.
What's that?
We're both
Come on.
First off, anybody with half a brain, I've been in a lot of parts of the fucking country, and I never said to anybody, I'm from Jersey. No, I'm from New Jersey.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm from Jersey. You from Jersey? Like, you know what I mean? That's just stupid. This guy's an idiot.
You don't say Hampshire.
What's
you
that?
don't say Hampshire. You don't say Hampshire or
right.
Well, you can say Carolina, but you know.
Well, watch how
I didn't know the guy had a real name.
Watch how this guy.
We're both from Jersey, and tonight's my first night doing comedy. Well,
it's also your last night, just so you know.
There you go.
I gotta say a few more things about my girl Snooky over there. Oh, that ain't Snooky?
This guy's an idiot.
There you go.
These are idiots from New Jersey who make New Jersey look bad.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All white people who act black look alike to me. Hey, man, stop lifting your shirt up like a prison bitch. Or else go out in the corner and get me some motherfucking money before I go upside your head with this coat hanging.
Yeah, that's the situation Sting. He's down at Seaside Heights lifting up his shirt. Like,
Was he in one of those reality shows?
yeah, it was the
Jersey Shore.
The Jersey Shore thing.
Yeah, the worst shit ever made.
It's like
I never saw it. I'm proud to say I
me
never
neither.
saw it.
Me neither.
but you
Although
know who they are,
I think
though. That's the
JWoww
thing.
was the real star of the show. Let's admit it.
But you know Snooki, the situation, like the situation. You got a fucking name, douchebag. You know, the situation. So I implore
cop?
anybody listening out there or anybody watching this, whenever you catch up with it, This is not New Jersey. All right.
Bullshit.
Yeah. That's not New Jersey.
That's not true. That's not
we
true.
We are from New Jersey. No, I'm from Jersey, you know?
Well, I went out to Washington State to see my sister when the Sopranos were at their peak popularity. And her neighbors were like, "You're from New Jersey. Is it?" And they were all thinking it was just like the Sopranos. Right. I said, well, the opening montage is a section of New Jersey.
Right.
But there's so much more. If you go to High Point, you feel like you're in the Catskills or Adirondacks. You know, it's like New Jersey actually has a varied landscape of things to visit and everything.
You drive 20 minutes that way, it's beautiful, green. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Perry, what exit did you grow up out? I hate that one too.
Yeah,
what exit?
Yeah,
But if you go to South Jersey, you can meet Bobo and Little Devil. In the Pinelands.
Well, I was in that triangle, that Pennsylvania, New Jersey, right?
Camden, Philly.
Yeah. Hey, Robert Blake, man. Robert Blake.
Hi, gang. I want to talk to you about some bad dope. PCP. You know what I'm talking about. Animal tranquilizers, angel dust, call it whatever you want. It's no good. It'll do you in. I wish I could reach out there and love all of you and make you love yourself so you wouldn't have to mess with no kind of dope. But all I can tell you is this stuff is a rattlesnake and it'll kill you. Please, please, please stay away from it. I love you. And that's the name of that tune.
That's more effective than most of those public service
announcements. He said that's the name of that tune.
Oh, he's from Jersey, New Jersey.
Yeah.
I always liked Robert Blake, but he died, didn't he? I think he did.
Yeah.
Well, he went to his. I think he went to his grave a murderer.
Yeah, but he got out though. He's
he was acquitted.
No, he got acquitted. Yeah. Yep.
So did OJ.
Hey, I have an ad. I believe it was banned. This ad, I believe, was banned. Let's see.
Oh, baby. Any day now.
Really? You're eating Doritos? He's eating Doritos on my ultrasound. Do you see what I have to do? I know.
Oh, his dopey husband.
Jesus.
Give me that.
Jesus Christ.
I think
no monkey with a chainsaw, man.
Yeah. It was like Alien there.
Yeah. There's probably another part of that commercial that they didn't even let us see. Something involving a wall.
Did you ever see the Doritos commercial with the glory hole? Look that one up. That was another bad one.
You find it, man. You find it.
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll send you the link. Play it next week, Perry.
Get out of here.
I'll send you the link. Yeah,
someone's feeding someone a Dorito through a hole.
Well, you send it to me. We'll catch up. We have
next week
crazy ads for when Lou's the host. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going in the works,
Oh, the glory hole ad is classic.
Andy Griffith.
Well, here's what friends are all about.
This is a rap. He's rapping.
To help you out, and you want to show you care, so you Ritz it. Ritz crackers make the occasion right. There's gold and goodness in every bite.
Playing piano and
you seem warmer when you Ritz it. It's the great entertainer, the crackers and bits, because friends are special. So is Ritz. They know you're saying thank you when you Ritz.
He's rapping.
Yeah, they should put a house beat behind that.
Cracker from Bisco.
Lou, good cracker ass.
Andy.
Now, if you look at it, he still had some color in his hair. So if you look at the leisure suit with the shirt collars pulled over that's late 70s. So that's almost like that's before like mainstream rap.
Really?
Yeah,
they should put a house beat behind that for now and like re-release it.
Everything's better when it sits on the Ritz.
But Music Relish Show is available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, and wherever you get your podcast from. Just type in Music Relish Show, the Music Relish Show, and see what comes up.
And if you haven't subscribed, you can always click subscribe. We would appreciate it.
And send us money.
No, we didn't say that.
No. He didn't just say that. No.
I didn't. I don't mean it. Come on. No one's going to send us.
It's Lou, the situation, asking for money here.
Lou, the grifter. The grifter Calicchio.
Well, anyway, this has been the Music Relish Show, episode 111. 111.
111.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Triple
So,
triple ones.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. And
good night.
See ya.
Good night. And we love you. Here's the outro. See you next time.
No.
Thanks to our subscribers. Music Relish Show, gmail.com.
Boom!
Booyah!
Leakin' Lena.
Beanie and Cecil.
That's a Leakin' Lena.
I knew a girl like
Michael
that.
Stipend, the big
Mark. Mark went blue at the end of the show. He went blueberry at the end of the show.
Woof boo. Woof
That's
boo.
WFU.
No, WFMU. Woof is the dog and moo is the cow. That's so great.
That's great.
I don't get it.
Aussie.
All right, what is this? Look at this. It says, eating before the show is not recommended.
Oh, my God.
Diarrhea.
Because that was after the famous bat incident.
UFO. I don't know who starfighters are. Do you know who they are?
No, I've never heard of them.
UFO. We all know who they are. We had them on the show, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
With Michael Schenker playing the guitar solo on his flying feet, right?
It was Michael Schenker is a Sitzpinkler.
Yeah. The Diary of a Madman tour. Wow. Yeah.
That's my favorite album of his.
Really?
Yeah. Last album with Randy Rhoads, too.
So when was that? 82?
1?
It says it on there somewhere. I just can't see it. Yeah.
81. 81.
Boom, I get the point.
Tickets for $10. That was a lot for back then. Yeah.
Mark salad surgery.
Yeah.
Did you say poke salad surgery?
Look, he looks like he's deaf, dumb, and blind playing guitar, doesn't he?
Who is it?
It's going to break it over someone's head in a second,
That's
looks like.
Roger Daltrey.
Well, it's hard to tell him, my little laptop.
There's REM with Mickey Dolenz.
Oh, okay. Cool, man.
I don't know what they're doing. But
someone's missing. Wait, Mike Mills is missing in that picture.
Yeah, he wasn't available.
Why does Peter Buck look like Glenn Close? I didn't mean that.
Yeah, you did.
I kind of did. Boom.
Look at that schlock. Look at that schlock.
Is that Psycho?
I don't know what it is, man.
That's creepy, man. Ah, the old phone booth. Where does Superman change now in? There's no phone booth.
I smell urine when I see a phone booth.
Really?
Dip-a-dip-bap.
Music Relish. Like and subscribe.
Do not send us money.
The king of slack. Slacking on the moon.
Slacking on the